it's just like a fantastic job.
A Vancouver Public Schools teacher is named the Regional Teacher of the Year. Why? He's sharing the credit. Plus, iPads in the classroom.
They're going to have in college, in high school later on, so why not start teaching them now?
How these sixth graders are using them to improve their reading skills and more. And 2 Skyview band students earned national championships, what they learned about themselves in the process. Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Coleen Nelson. For the second year in a row, the Regional Teacher of the Year comes from Vancouver Public Schools. Nick Vole introduces us to Eric Saueracker, math teacher extraordinaire.
Better and better and better until we're going to get that instantaneous.
It's a bit of an understatement to say that Eric Saueracker is enthusiastic about his job.
I'm a really bad person to be at a barbecue with or something, because people will be like, hey, so you like being a teacher? And I'm like, oh, hey, you got 20 minutes? Let me just tell you about this one right here.
The Hudson's Bay math teacher is the 2012 Regional Teacher of the Year for Southwest Washington. It's an honor that surprises absolutely no one at Hudson's Bay.
He's very bright, he's very funny, he's a kid magnet, they love him, and he's very well respected by his colleagues as well, because he just gets the job done.
Mr. Saueracker is part of an evolving culture at Bay, one that pushes kids towards college and careers by encouraging them to push themselves and to take AP or college-level courses.
We're taking the achievement gap, the idea that a student's socioeconomic status is a determinant in their success, and we're kind of removing that factor from it and say, hey, we have 60% free and reduced lunch at Bay. That doesn't matter. Everybody here can walk out ready to go off to college or whatever they want to be doing.
Gabriel Norwood is in many ways a typical success story at Bay. A bright kid, but with average grades, he started improving, thanks in part to Mr. Saueracker.
He's like, you need to get into the class. He's like, you do really well. And then along with the other teachers. So yeah, he kind of pushes for kids that have the potential to do really well. He always pushes them to get into the class.
The math department combined 2 lower-level classes into one to make it possible for students to take college-level courses. And now, more students than ever are taking advanced math classes.
It's heating up. It's getting harder, but future looks good. I don't know. It's looking pretty good.
Mr. Saueracker is quick to deflect the credit.
I know that there are plenty of other teachers in this building who are fantastic instructors.
But his students say he deserves this honor.
He makes class fun. He gets his point across, he gets the information across really well to the students.
He cares a lot and yeah. I
really enjoy it. I think that I express that pretty well to the students because it's such a blast to be in here teaching math, particularly at the AP level. It's very hard conceptually, and you really get to push these kids, and they're okay with that.
For In the Know, I'm Nick Vole.
Mr. Saueracker told us it was almost a relief that he didn't win the State Teacher of the Year award because it would take him out of the classroom for about 20 days this year. He didn't think that would be fair to his students. To see more of our interview with Mr. Saueracker, stay tuned after the show. 2 band students at Skyview join a professional level marching band and earn themselves a national championship. Dylan Alice and Kyle Mowry marched with the Oregon Crusaders Drum and Bugle Corps this summer. They joined other top young musicians, mostly from Oregon. The band trained for 12 straight days, sunup to sunset, before embarking on a 15-state tour, culminating with the national championships in Indiana, which they won. Both Dylan and Kyle say it was an unforgettable experience.
I was able to be around a group of people who are wanting to be as good at music as I do, and inspired to do as good as they can for an entire summer. It was amazing.
It's made me be a lot more serious about music. Like, I knew I was serious about music before, but now it's kind of narrowed it down to, yeah, this is what I want to do for my career. Because it's just like, it's made me love it even more.
Dylan, a trombonist, also competed in the national solo competition and won. He also won the district title in trombone last year. Both students are a part of Skyview's award-winning marching band. Vancouver Public Schools earns a national honor. It's been selected to show off its classroom technology to some of the nation's leading educators. In May, administrators, teachers, and school board members from across the country will come to Vancouver to see how teachers and students are using technology in the classroom. The National School Board Association selected Vancouver, along with 3 other districts around the country, for this honor. This is the 3rd time in the last 20 years VPS has been chosen, something no other district can claim.
The fact that we've been selected 3 times really speaks to a consistent vision around imagining how technology, as it's evolved through these years, helps us rethink what teaching and learning might look like because of the new potentials.
Attendees will hear speeches, see presentations, and take tours of schools to see technology in action. The NSBA site visit is set for May 1st through the 3rd. The best teaching methods eliminate barriers to learning. And in Vancouver Public Schools, educators are using technology to do just that. We Learn correspondent Mark Ray shows us how a teacher at McLaughlin Middle School is using iPads to teach English and a whole lot more.
Tablet devices like this iPad are amazingly flexible tools. As of September, there are more than 700,000 apps available to do just about anything. But in Monica Huey's class, it's not about what the tablets can do, it's about what students can do. These McLaughlin 6th graders are reading the book The Color of My Words, the story of a young Latina finding her way in the world. After the students have flipped through the pages, they flip on their iPads. They write chapter summaries, draw pictures of what stood out to them, and translate some of the Spanish words in the book. Then they share their thoughts with their classmates by wirelessly connecting their pads to the classroom display.
Because when I read the book, I sometimes forget, but on the iPads it's kind of better because I remember mostly.
I see that because of the apps that we use, because of the fact that we don't do all the work paper pencil, there's a lot more engagement.
Going on the iPad is fun.
They're really fun, and so I like to stay focused on my iPad so it doesn't get taken away.
As you just heard, the students know the use of these devices is a privilege.
The iPad is kind of the ultimate carrot and stick almost. It is, you know, if you don't prove that you're mature enough to handle the distractions and to move past those, you lose it.
Because the students use online resources, they're also learning how to use the internet responsibly.
It's an iPad. It is an information tool right there at your fingertips, and so I think it's super important to sort of teach them those digital citizenship skills.
By eliminating paper whenever possible, the work is more efficient than ever.
It saves. I could email it to the teacher. I don't have to put the paper in the bin.
Their pads also put more responsibility on the students to direct their own learning, a challenge they gladly accept.
It just moves away from that, teacher, deliverer of information, and students sit there quietly and receive it. It puts us on an equal footing, which might make you uncomfortable a little bit at the beginning because maybe that's not what you're used to. But once you get into it and you realize how much potential there is for students to really take responsibility of their learning and take ownership of that, it's beautiful to just stand back and kind of watch them go to work with it. So.
Monica's is one of many iPad pilots in Vancouver Public Schools, with many more to come.
Thanks, Mark. To see educational technology in person, check out the 2012 We Learn Technology Showcase. This annual event brings together teachers, students, and community members. Hundreds of people attended last year to see the latest gadgets, software, and strategies in action. The event is on Thursday, November 8th at Skyview High School. It begins at 6:30 p.m. and admission is free. In an extended interview for Fort Sports, Nick Vole interviewed Chief Information Officer Lisa Gresseth about the event. Learn more about why the district holds We Learn and what you'll see when you go. If you're watching Comcast, you can watch their conversation after this episode. Students at Vancouver's newest school get a lesson in engineering. Freshmen at iTech Prep spent a day designing and constructing their very own bridges out of straws. This kind of project is typical of the project-based learning going on at iTech Prep, which is a STEM school. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. After studying the different kinds of bridges, the students had to decide which type they thought would work the best. They put them together, and then the students went outside and tested them to see which designs could hold the most weight. The iTech Prep High School campus is located at Washington State University, Vancouver. The middle schoolers are at the Jim Parsley Center. The school district's maintenance department is settling in nicely at a new facility. The maintenance team moved in at the end of summer to a warehouse-like building on Fruit Valley Road. The idea is to save money and improve performance by consolidating.
Part of our vision really is looking at economies and efficiencies and creating team environments. In our Phase 3 bond, we had envisioned this combined maintenance facility, which would allow different work groups who worked out of very different facilities all across the district to come together and create some economies and efficiencies around roles and responsibilities and tasks.
Although the maintenance and grounds crew spends most of their times out at school buildings, those we spoke to say they like the new facility. It has a heated work floor, something they say will definitely come in handy this winter. As you may have noticed when we interviewed VPS Superintendent Steve Webb, he was in work clothes. That's because he was shooting an episode of his very own show, On the Job with Steve. Produced by the district's TV studio, On the Job follows Dr. Webb as he tries out someone else's job for a day. His goal is to make sure he knows the challenges his employees face every day and their contributions to the district. The new episode will be available soon as part of the VPS Power Half Hour, which airs on Comcast Channel 28. You can see past episodes on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/VanSDTV. Vancouver Public Schools recognizes 5 outstanding employees. The 5 were nominated by their peers for excellence and honored by the school board. From left to right on your screen, they're Jeff Walker, a teacher at Skyview who works in the Storm Academy program, which helps students who are behind catch up in time for graduation. Then there's Laura Shirayok, a secretary in the district's curriculum office. Next to her, Maggie Booth, who works side by side with Jeff Walker at the Storm Academy. Then it's Jeannie Hawk, the attendance clerk at Skyview. And finally, Marianne Thompson, who's in charge of the district's elementary education program. Congratulations to everyone honored. It was a day of fitness, school spirit, and college readiness at McLaughlin Middle School. Students jogged around the track, played games in the gym, and displayed their favorite college colors. The school wanted to get the year off on the right foot with a positive event to bring the students together. McLaughlin is one of several schools with the AVID program, which helps provide the groundwork for students to get into college. And as you can see from this video here, there are a lot of future Ducks, Beavers, Huskies, and Cougars in this crowd. Young readers at Roosevelt Elementary get a big leg up thanks to a grant for the Read and Play program. The Target Corporation presented Roosevelt with a giant check for $25,000. The money goes directly to Read and Play, a program that introduces pre-kindergartners to reading so that they're ready to learn once school starts. Roosevelt is just one of 25 schools selected by Target nationwide for a grant.
I think being part of the community, it just really situates us really well with being able to take and help the people that work in our stores and the people that come and frequent us. It's basically why we're there.
The money will pay for weekly 90-minute sessions for preschoolers. Parents also attend and they learn ways to share books and encourage early literacy skills. Students at 5 elementary schools are eating healthy this year thanks to a federal grant. The USDA gave the school district almost $120,000 to bring fresh fruit and vegetables to students at Fruit Valley King, Ogden, Roosevelt, and Washington elementaries. These schools were selected because they have a high number of students on free or reduced lunch, an indicator of poverty. This is the second year VPS schools have participated in the program. The goal is to not only give kids nutritious food, but also to introduce them to new kinds of produce. Students at King Elementary get the gift of knowledge courtesy of the local Rotary Club. This was the kickoff of the Rotary's Gift of Words campaign, in which third graders in several schools across Clark County got their very own dictionary. The students were glad to get a brand new book, and the Rotary members were glad to give them one.
Well, it's very gratifying to see the kids. In many cases, this may be the only book that child owns.
This is the 9th year of the program, which Rotary extends across the country. The campaign also ties in nicely with King Elementary's push for college. Even though they're years away from graduation, teachers try to put the goal of a college education in front of the students. Students at Fort Vancouver High School give a gift of a different kind, the gift of life. The Red Cross brought its blood donation drive to Fort, and plenty of students volunteered to give their blood. Some students we spoke to said their fear of needles just couldn't stop them from donating, and everyone we spoke to said they're glad to potentially help save someone's life.
It makes me feel really good because it's just like someone's always needing blood out there, and knowing that it's my blood that they could be using to save their life, it's pretty cool.
Fort isn't the only high school to host blood drives. The district's other schools will host them this year as well. And that just about does it for us. Remember that if you're watching on Comcast, stay tuned to see those extended interviews with Eric Saueracker, Teacher of the Year, and with Lisa Gresseth, who will talk about the upcoming We Learn event. Thank you for watching In the Know. I'm Coleen Nelson.